All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The world of YouTube. The DLA Guru is back in the building yet again. The Creator above has blessed me with yet another day to get out here into the YouTube airwaves to shed a little knowledge as it relates to who I am and what my mission is here in the YouTube world to spread the good news about the Defense Logistics Agency, the DLA. So come one, come all. I am doing a completely public presentation. So this is not our bi-monthly scheduled live stream for those newcomers to my members only channel. I think I sent out an email to alert you guys that we will be going live to answer any and all questions that you have related to DLA solicitations and whatnot. That will be next Saturday. And so today is just for the general public. So I'm opening up the chat to allow all subscribers in order to send me some questions, send me a little love, let me know that you're in the building. Looks like we got 6 concurrent viewers. So welcome all, welcome all. I have a great presentation for you guys today. As you can see, the title was talking about NATO, and I got some good nuggets that I think might benefit you on your GovCon journey, not only with that of the DLA, but if you're also diddling and dabbling in the SAM.gov arena, I'm thinking that today's content will be very beneficial to you. I have scheduled for an hour today, but it may go faster. It may, it may go over the hour. It all depends on how many questions that I get. I just want to let you guys know if I get a lot of questions kind of coming at me, that I will take a priority review of super chat. So if you guys want to send me a little token of your appreciation along with your question, so all super chats will definitely be covered, and I'll also be able to post your super chat message on screen there. That might benefit a lot of other folks that are interested in today's content or have related questions or similar questions to what you may have. So that would also help to spread the love to the general community of YouTube viewers on today's video, as well as on the repeat too, on the replay. So it looks like, again, we have 6 concurrent viewers. I would really appreciate if you guys can give me a few likes. Before I get started, I want to get a few folks more into the building so I can kind of get the audio rhythm kind of going, so my message can be spread to a broader audience of folks who may be interested in learning more about what the DLA Guru has to say in order to assist you guys along your DLA journeys and being successful. Looks like I have a few comments in the chat right now. Looks like, oh, we got James in the building. Good afternoon to you too, James. And pleasure to have you back in the building with us, James. Hope you always have some pretty fantastic questions. So looking forward to what you may be cooking as well. So feel free to drop a comment or whatnot into the chat there, James. And we have Mr. Damien. What up, brother? How are you doing? Yeah, hey, I'm doing pretty good, Damien. Pleasure to have you spend a little bit of your Saturday afternoon with me as well. I was thinking about if I should go live in the morning or go live in the afternoon. Believe it or not, I have a scheduled one-on-one directly following this live stream. So I tried to make it as efficient as possible with the use of my time. And so that's the reason why today I decided to come in later this afternoon, because anyway, I'll be working a little bit after this live stream. So let's see. So 6 concurrent viewers, 1 like. If I can get 5 more likes to have parity to my views, that would be fantastic. That lets me know you guys are really loving what I'm cooking, and that would just send nice waves back to me. If you just can't get to your like button, but you want to send something in the chat there, a fire emoji will be good, just to kind of show some type of transfer of energy, as they would say, or just to have you guys engagement. YouTube really likes the engagement. Lets the audio rhythm know that you guys like the content, like the performance, the presentation, all that good stuff, and that just really helps me to continue to grow the channel. So thanks again for those of you who hit me up with a little bit of a like there or a fire emoji in the chat. Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and share the screen because I know you guys are like, okay, DLA Guru, what are you cooking? Go ahead and give it to us. Give it to us. Actually, before, yeah, I like this view of that. Yeah. One thing I did notice too in my last live stream, it seemed like StreamYard is giving me some issues as far as like my audio feed and then my video feed not being the waveform, not being in sync. So I've been trying to work with tech support to kind of clean that up, guys. I upgraded my account in order to get the high def feed. So hopefully, the presentation is a little bit better, but let me know if you guys are seeing some bad audio or video not really syncing. That way I can kind of know what you guys are receiving on your end, because I want to make sure that these presentations are top notch as that's just the way kind of person I am. I always like everything to be as perfect as possible. So give me that feedback if you guys can be so kind for those viewing the content today. But without any further ado, let me go ahead and dive into today's presentation because I think you're really going to love what I got to talk to you guys about today. This is a way to help 10x your businesses as it relates to the DLA. And I'm really excited about presenting this information to you. So for those of you who are new to my channel, new to my content, don't know who the heck this guy is with the trucker's hat that I'm always on here smiling and full of energy. Well, my name is Kiwi Hendricks. I am the U.S. government sales manager with the National Material Supply Company. We have been servicing the U.S. military by way of the DLA for the past 20 plus years. And I have coined the name the DLA Guru as a result of my experience in this particular space. And, for those of you who are checking the chat and just checking out my channel and all the content I put out there, there's a lot of love in the space. And I think that, I'm helping to change people's lives, change people's businesses, give them a different outlook on government contracting. My last video that I put out there, we're talking a little bit about the differences between SAM.gov as relates to, services and then the DLA as relates to products, because I'm getting a lot of feedback from folks that are just getting really frustrated with GovCon in general. Again, newcomers to the space, and they're just kind of thinking that the whole thing is rigged. And it's not, it really it's a matter of finding your lane. So our company found our lane, and we decided to double down on being a product supply company, namely servicing that of the U.S. federal government, as well as a host of commercial clients as well. So anyway, welcome to my channel. Hopefully you guys like a little bit of my background. I do in some of my other content talk about my educational background, me working in corporate America and things like that, and breaking the umbilical cord to corporate America, as I like to say, getting out of the matrix. So for those of you who may be feeling a little antsy or interested in seeing what entrepreneurship would look like, breaking the chains, I like to say, of corporate America and venturing out on your own, government contracting is definitely a space for you. And me personally, I believe that if you're getting into GovCon, that you definitely want to take a look at the DLA as an option to diversify your portfolio of products and services and customers that you guys can definitely support in your entrepreneurial endeavors. So that's what my channel is all about. And again, welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, for those of you, again, who are new to my content and have not subscribed to my channel, I would really, really appreciate you subscribe to the channel, because your subscription, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. Send a comment, if not on this live stream, any videos that you guys see, because I read any and all comments that come my way. And I'll do my best to respond to you guys and provide you with some guidance and some support along your journey in the GovCon space. And by all means, please share, hit the share button and send this content to friends and family members and loved ones who you think may benefit from some of the information that I've been providing to you guys out there. And by all means, hit the notification bell. Please hit the notification bell, because you can then be abreast to all the new content that I have planned for fiscal year 2024. So anytime I send a short or I send any type of video or post anything in our community forum, that if you are subscribed at that level to receive that type of content, by hitting the notification bell, you'll be abreast. That way you'll You won't be a day late and a dollar short. You'll have the information right when it hits the airwaves that may benefit you along your journey as well. Okay, great. So why are we here today? We are here to talk about NATO, which stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and all the countries that make up NATO. But before getting into NATO and talking a little bit more about how that can benefit your company, I want to let you guys know, as I talked about in my last live stream, I'm very interested in growing the support that I'm offering to 100 new businesses within the government, the GovCon space, to assist you guys with DLA contracts. Not only contracts that you may get just for your company, but also networking opportunities, joint venturing opportunities, partnership opportunities to be able to grow your businesses along with other DLA contractors who are in the space, and that being yours truly, the DLA Guru. So I'm looking to bring 100 new businesses underneath my wing. And what I mean by that is interacting, interfacing, working directly with you guys, being able for you guys, for me to know who you are by first name, by your company operation, what you guys are good at, what area of the country you're in, what industries you're servicing, so that I can begin to create a Rolodex of new businesses and or seasoned businesses that are interested in getting a larger share of the DLA pie. And I'm looking for 100 new businesses to be a part of this leadership team. Right now, in my last live stream, I think it was last Saturday, there are about 4 or 5 companies that I've been interacting with that they're meeting that that demand or that need, or that I should say my desire, because I'm building trust and rapport with those companies, and they're building the trust and rapport with me, so that when it comes down to actually putting money on the table, that we're in a better position to feel comfortable by doing business in that way. Because within all business transactions, you have to do business with people you know, like, and trust. And so I'm looking to see what 100 new businesses will be really serious about being a part of this vision that I have for fiscal year 2024 and beyond. So the way that you get involved is, 1, reaching out to me, let me know that you're interested in the challenge. 2, getting involved by supporting your business and investing in some of the master classes that I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in order to have us speak the same language. No sense that you speak in French and I'm speaking English and that person speaking German. We all need to speak the same language in order to be on one accord, to build that rapport of moving forward. And I think by you investing in those types of programs that I've labored in over the past year and putting together, is a direct representation of you wanting to be a part of this 100 new businesses. And it's not only at the masterclass level. Of course, I have a LinkedIn group that I have out there by invite only, that will allow you guys to kind of begin to communicate and engage with me, as well as other folks in the space. And I'm just looking for 100 businesses to kind of bubble up to the top, so that we can create this fantastic leadership team through the programs that I offer. But today's presentation isn't really all about that, but I just wanted to throw that out there. My plan is to kind of keep that message going for all the new eyes on the content. But moving into what you're really here for, I want you guys to start thinking globally. Think globally when you're thinking about sourcing products and services. Everything is not just here in America. The U.S. federal government operates on a global scale. And the reason why I wanted to identify NATO, because there's this premise that the Buy America Act means that you really can't do business with the U.S. federal government unless you're buying products and or services from American companies. And so that's a little bit of a falsity. It's not that you can't you work with countries outside of the United States. And I think NATO is a great source of like learning more about these different countries that have treaties and partnerships and relationships that allow governments within NATO to work directly with the U.S. federal government, so that you're buying products and services from abroad and getting those things imported in. And America may even have operations within those countries where you can do business from a service perspective, where you can find some of these opportunities on sam.gov, and as well as finding and sourcing products and manufacturers overseas in these NATO countries. So let me change my screen to show you something that I ran across that I think might be pretty cool to talk about. So when we talk about NATO, this is a great website, and I'll also drop the link to this website in the chat so you guys can kind of follow on with me as well. Here, let me pull up the link on my screen. I'm going to drop this in the chat for you. Where is the comments? Boom. Dun, dun, boom. And I'm going to drop that in the chat. And I do see you guys have some questions in there too, and I'll circle back and read some of those questions. And again, anyone that does a super chat, that will definitely bubble your question up to the top where I can put it on screen and really assist other folks who may be watching the content today. Looks like we got 9 concurrent viewers. Fantastic. For those of you who are new to joining us today, please hit the like. That lets me know that you are liking what we're cooking over here. And that also stokes the audio rhythm to get the content, the message out to a broader audience as well. So thank you for joining us today. Okay, so what you see on screen here is a website that I ran across that talks about NATO member countries. And there are approximately 31 different countries that are part of NATO. And NATO, again, is a conglomerate of these countries that are through treaties and relationships that allow commerce to happen without a lot of red tape. And so what I mean by that is there are countries that the United States government says no to, and all the NATO countries that you see here, the United States government says yes to. So if you are ex-military, for example, or you have family members who may have worked in some of these countries, or you have relationships with folks in some of these 31 countries, it may be a great idea to start having conversations where you may be able to begin sourcing or finding or building relationships to find product sources and manufacturing sources in those countries. And hey, by all means, get your passport, get on some planes and fly around and put skin to skin if you have that ability to do that, especially when you're looking for, sourcing products. Now, you may say, well, why are we going outside of the United States? Because it's expensive in the United States. A lot of folks are saying that, hey, I'm building on these DLA solicitations, and we're just getting creamed on the pricing. A lot of competition is coming into play, within here, and we're looking at the award information that's coming back from DIBBS, and we're losing by 30-40% margins. Like, how is this happening? And a lot of times, guys, what we're finding out as well is that some of these companies that are winning these bids are finding sources in other countries where the US dollar is very strong, where you basically can buy more for less in other countries, and then finding out, ways that you can import those products into the United States and then resell them to the DLA. So I believe that getting involved with learning more about NATO member countries and what types of opportunities may exist is definitely going to be a win for your company. And I'm not going to go through this website in detail, but it just kind of lists a lot of information. So the link's in the chat there. So I highly recommend you bookmark it and come back and take a look at this. This is just one of many websites that are out there talking about NATO member countries, but I just wanted to kind of bring it into the fold in our discussion today. Okay, let me swing back to our presentation. SAM.gov opportunities are also very populous as it relates to America's dealings overseas. There was a period of time where my company and my team, we were going after a lot of U.S. Department of State opportunities, not only for products, but for services. And the U.S. Department of State does a lot of business overseas, where America has embassies, America has military, investments and things of that nature. There's always plenty of solicitations that you'll find on SAM where they're doing business in Germany and Denmark and some of these NATO member countries, where if you, again, have relationships or you want to begin to build relationships in those countries, there are opportunities teaming there. Now, I do have some insight on how you guys can get involved in that level, and that is something that we can discuss on Contracted 101s. At the end of this presentation, I'll talk a little bit more how you guys can link with me so that we can kind of talk shop and just do some idea generation of how your company may be able to do a little bit more business on an international level from an import-export perspective and sourcing products and services in foreign countries. DIBBS. Now, how does all this? We're talking to SAM.gov. You guys know I'm not a SAM.gov guy, but I think that it may be. I do know a lot about SAM.gov. I just don't do a lot of business in that arena because how difficult it is to do business with SAM in SAM.gov. But from a DIBBS DLA perspective, product sourcing opportunities are very populous as it relates to foreign governments, and the reason why and the receipts behind that. I just mentioned that there are 31 NATO countries, right? But right now, if you go into DIBBS and you go and you're bidding on solicitation, you'll see whenever the DLA is asking what is the country of origin for the material or the qualifying country of origin, there are 28 countries that fall within that list. And this next slide, I'm going to do a little bit of a dive into that here. Let me change this. I'm trying to see which is the, nah, I like this better. This may be, no, this is better. I like this better. All right, cool. So who are those countries? Okay, so those countries are, we got Australia. Australia is a non-NATO country. However, it is on the 28 qualifying country end product list for the DLA. So that means that if you're able to find manufacturers or vendors within Australia and are able to source products that the DLA is looking for, linking back to the national stock number, this is above water. This is a go. This is a green. You're able to source products from companies located in Australia. We got Belgium. Belgium is a NATO member, and so you're able to do business in Belgium. I'm just going to kind of go down the list of these different countries because it just blew my mind, you know, as it relates to just ways that you can 10x your business by finding opportunities outside of the United States that might help you to get the best price, you know, and best availability as it relates to products that the DLA is looking to procure. All right. And also within my training, I teach how you're able to utilize third-party software like SEI Global to find these different types of products and these countries, like players within the countries, where you're getting international phone numbers, where you can literally get on the phone and talk to these countries. We've been doing a lot of activity in the UK. I would say probably the past 8 months, we've sourced a handful of vendors in the UK, and we actually have a couple of contracts that we've been awarded where we're buying products from the UK and get them shipped here into the United States. So there's a lot of opportunity. Keep in mind, the DLA manages a database of over 6 million national stock numbers, right? So if you're bidding on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 national stock numbers, you got a lot of work to do, all right? But having the right training and having the right methodology and processes, we can work together to help you. I should say, I can help you work within your industry and give you some idea generation of how you may be able to go after these type of NATO or non-NATO, I should say, the 25 qualifying countries where you may be able to source products as well. Another country that's on the list is Denmark. They are a NATO country, and they're part of the 28 qualifying list. Egypt. I don't know if you guys doing it. You know, a lot of folks go over to Egypt and they go see the Great Pyramids and whatnot. But hey, if you're doing international trips with your family and stuff for vacations, hey, when you're in these countries, you might want to grab or spend a day or two of your time in these countries on vacationing and see if you may be able to get some contacts. Find the embassies, you know, the U.S. embassies within these particular countries. Get some business cards and get registered and see if you can, you know, find a way to get your voice heard and get recognized and begin to develop relationships with companies in these countries. We have another country, Estonia. And please, I may be pronouncing some of these countries wrong because I've never been to the countries, but I think that's Estonia, and they are also a NATO country. We got Finland. Finland's a NATO country that's also part of the 28 qualifying list. We got France, of course, parlez-vous français. And so we got France is also a NATO country, as well as a qualifying country for products to resell to the DLA. We got Germany, of course, you know, and a lot of these countries, guys, you know, I've been pushing a lot of content talking about the industrial base, you know, how we've had a degradation of mom and pop manufacturers like precision machine companies in the United States. But guess what? Germany, so a lot of these countries are very populous with companies that build products. And so you might be able to source some great manufacturing partners within these countries too to build custom products for the DLA. All right. We also have Greece, which is a NATO member and part of the 28 qualifying country in product database. And we have Israel. Israel is a non-NATO nation. However, they are also a country that you can source products, and it's green for the DLA. We have Italy. I've spent 2 years when I worked for Boeing working in Italy, and I met a lot of industry and a lot of companies that are based in Italy that I still have a Rolodex of contacts that I haven't done any manufacturing work with, but from an aircraft perspective, the Italian government, they do a lot of avionics type components, and like the windows that you see on Boeing 737s, a lot of those products are sourced in Italy, believe it or not, guys. And so the Italian government really promotes and does a lot with industry as it relates to manufacturing. So Italy is a great country. Now, of course, you're going to have to be able to speak the lingo over there. And so, having relationships with folks that can either speak the language, or you have translators and things like that that can kind of help you to work that out. Just a sidebar, I remember working when I worked for Boeing in Italy, and I remember doing a presentation in front of a group of stakeholders that were trying to do business with Boeing at the time, and no one in the room spoke well. I should say no one. The president of this company didn't speak English at all, and I literally was doing a presentation in front of this room, and I would have to pause after every sentence or so in order for their translator to translate what I was saying in English to the president of this company. And so, language barriers do exist, but if you have a system and you're an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs, we're here to solve problems. That's why we get paid. And you're able to kind of maneuver that, you may be able to find opportunities for your company. So moving on, Japan is also one of those countries that you guys may want to take a look at. Next but not least, and if you notice here, I put the pronunciation of this country. So I think it's pronounced Latvia. So I don't know if anyone's been to Latvia, but that's also a NATO member country where you can source products. We got Lithuania, of course, is a NATO member country as well. Luxembourg. All right, and we'll keep going through here. They got the Netherlands is another country. You got Norway is a country where you can find products and services. Now, keep in mind, this is not all about DLA and DIBBS. These are countries where we can go and source products and services also in support of SAN.gov solicitations as well. All right, namely, the U.S. State Department. We got Poland. Poland is also a NATO member country where you can source products. We got Portugal. All right. I've never been to Portugal, but I've heard a lot about Portugal. And well, actually, you know what? I have been. Well, no, wait a minute. Portugal. Yeah, no, I've been to Spain. So yeah, but I thought Spain was the country. That lets you know, what I know about that. I guess Portugal must be its own entity within Spain or something. But that's that. So we got Slovenia. All right, we got oh, wait a minute. So Portugal and Spain is a country here, and I guess Portugal, you would think, I don't know the relationship. Maybe someone can put that in the chat, what the relationship between Portugal and Spain was. I thought they were the same country, our same region or something. All right, but hey, I'm learning something too. Let's see, we got Sweden. Sweden is also a non-NATO country. However, you can still source products and support the DLA there. Okay. All right, James, I see it. Portugal is right next to Spain. Okay, cool. So that's what it is. All right. They are not the same country. Yeah. All right, man. So yeah, they're not the same country. Of course, they got two different flags. But wait a minute. I was in Spain. I went to Ibiza and no, Madrid. I'm mixing Portugal up with that. So no, I've been to Madrid. That's in Spain. But no, I've never been to Portugal. All right, cool. And let's see here. We got Switzerland. Switzerland's a non-NATO country as well. However, you can source products above board in support of the DLA. And of course, we got Turkey. I've recently learned that Turkey has a very strong manufacturing base. And I'm actually interested in finding some points of contact in Turkey that we can start talking about precision machining and things of that nature in Turkey, because I know the US dollar stretches very far in Turkey. Let's see, we got the United Kingdom, of course, is a NATO nation. And last but not least, number 28 is the United States, the Buy America Act, the creme de la creme as it relates to products and services to support the US federal government. So, this is, I think, a great, snapshot of just ways that you can expand your companies outside of the United States manufacturing base to find potential opportunities that, that other folks may not, probably low competition, because I'm sure, doing international business is not for the faint at heart, but for those of you who have an angle and have a business plan, a business process to go after it. And again, if you don't, I would say reach out to me. Let's put our heads together. Let's talk shop, set up a one-on-one with me, and where we can talk a little bit about what your company is doing, and I can shed some of my background as relates to it. And just so you guys know, in my past life, I worked for Boeing, and I worked in their international development division for 5 years, and I worked and managed offsets for a lot of foreign military sales contracts that Boeing had by way of the U.S. State Department and foreign government. So I've been around the world and had my passport stamped up quite a bit. And so I have some background, some understanding of how you can do international business to support your company as in doing business with the U.S. federal government as well. Cool. Let's see. Before moving on, I got a couple more slides. Let me look at some of the chat here. Let's see what we got here. We got 10 concurrent viewers. Thank you guys. 4 likes. You guys do a little better on the likes. We got 4 viewers in here. So if you're liking what I'm putting out there and you guys are reading some of this or receiving some of this information, and I'm kind of opening your eyes up to what I like to say, an aha moment. That's a tongue twister. But this isn't an aha moment for you. A like would be fantastic to let me know that you guys are liking the content that I'm putting out there. Let's see here. I see some links in here. I'm not sure about the liftoff rocket. Okay. And let's see here. We got Damon here. I'm gonna go ahead and show Damon. I don't have any super chats coming in, guys. Come on, throw me a super chat, throw me a donation, throw me a little something. I put a lot of energy into putting this information together, so I really appreciate it. And you guys let me know. $1 or $2 goes a long way. It lets me know that you guys really like what I'm cooking. But I'll go ahead and throw Damon up here because there's a nice question here. It says, when you're going through DLA solicitations and there's a particular product you're interested in selling to the defense, to the DLA, what are some sections of the contract when you're reading through it? I'm not exactly sure that question, Damien. What are some sections of the contract? Well, you definitely want to look at section B, because section B is where they're going to put in the national stock number, the approved sources of supply, manufacturer's name and part number. It's definitely where you want to go with that, Damien, as well. All right. And you're asking questions like, should you focus on? Well, Damien, there's a lot to focus on when you're doing government contracting. You want to make sure that, you are bidding on contracts that fall within your wheelhouse, that you can get your hands onto those products or services for a competitive price. There's just a lot to consider when you're going after government contracts, because keep in mind, there is competition. There's other companies going after the same business. I teach a lot of that in my contractor one-on-ones, as well as in my master classes too, Damien. And so I'm not sure if you have participated in one of those master classes, but I'll talk a little bit about that in the next couple of slides as well. Let's see here. Damien had another question. Let me go ahead and put this on screen here, Damien. Okay, show. It says, how do you feel about doing business on Unison Marketplace? Can the outsourcing apply for that platform as well? Yeah, and Damien, so when I talk about NATO countries, these are approved countries through distribution treaties that the United States government has in place. So you are able to source products and services through these countries and resell them or apply them to federal government solicitations that are out there. Unison Marketplace, Unison has changed over the years. It used to be called FedBit, you know, I would say like 5 years ago or whatever, before the pandemic. And it was bought out by Unison. And so Unison and Fed Connect are like one and the same. And what I've found, or what our team has found, we've been bidding on a couple of contracts. They used to be very hub zone centric back in the day when it was called FedBit. I haven't seen any set aside solicitations that were hub zone. Like all the Unison, or should I say FedBit contracts that we received in the past were all hub zone set asides. I haven't seen any hub zone set asides hit the Unison marketplace. So even for some of the contracts that we bid on last year, for example, we were finding that you bid on the contract and there's a repost and they cancel it and repost. So I think there's some weird stuff kind of going on in Unison. I'm not saying that there isn't business happening, but for our company, we just haven't been very successful in finding opportunities in the past, I'd say 4 to 6 months with Unison. But definitely, by all means, it's worth an education. Is worth you getting involved. And, you know, all you'll do is just learn by bidding and getting involved. So I highly recommend you do that. It'll only add value to your GovCon repertoire or your GovCon experience to make you better and better and better as you move through this process. All right, cool. So before diving into some more of the comments, what I'd like to do, let me get back to my presentation here because I put a lot of energy into it. Again, you guys got any super chats for me? I would really appreciate it because donations are encouraged and are definitely welcome. And if you don't want a super chat, as you can see on the scrolling marquee, I do offer my Cash App and Venmo, and I also accept Buy Me a Coffee. And those are 3 different platforms where you can find me by the call sign at the DLA Guru. So feel free to drop me something and let me know that you guys are really loving what I'm cooking, because all I'm doing is just giving, man. I'm trying to give to help you guys along your journey. And, you know, not that I need to receive, but man, it just means so much to me to know that you guys are valuing what I'm doing, because it'll just kind of keep me going, keep me motivated. Okay, cool. So another question that I get a lot from folks is, hey, is the DLA DIBBS right for you? And I think a lot of folks are a little skittish about getting involved with government contracting or scheduling one-on-ones or getting involved in master classes because they're not exactly sure if the investment is right for them. And so what I have decided to do, I created a way that you guys can reach out to me and schedule time to talk directly to me. Yours truly, the DLA Guru. You can schedule a 15-minute pre-screening phone call with me. And I think what I've found, because I've had a few people who have participated or took advantage of my 15-minute pre-screening phone call, what I'm finding is I'm able to kind of talk with you to find out, do you have what it takes? You know, just by where you're at in your life, what your company is all about. And I'm not here to, you know, what should I say, steal dreams, but I'm also here to kind of give you a dose of reality. I'm not the type of guy that's going to pander and sell you pipe dreams and make you feel like you can walk on water, because you have to believe that you can walk on water, you know. So it really comes from who you are deep down, because entrepreneurism is something where you're not born an entrepreneur. Well, I'll take it back. I think you are born an entrepreneur, but you are forged through trial and error to really not die or fall by the wayside. You know, that's what entrepreneurism is about, in my opinion. And so what I decided to do is create the 15-minute pre-screening phone call. I'll drop this in the chat right now for you guys to take a look at that. You can go ahead and click that link, bookmark it, and I'll also provide it in the video description for the replay. For those of you who are seeing the content outside of the live stream, if you're interested in reaching out to yours truly, the DLA Guru, to talk a little bit about what your company is all about. All right. So it's a pre-screening link. Schedule a 15-minute call with me, and we can talk shop. And if you are, you know, a little bit more beyond like a 15-minute and you just want to kind of like touch the surface, I also have created a members only content channel where it's kind of like it's closed circuit, deep dive into actual DLA solicitations. Members, they meet with me bi-monthly, as I talked about at the beginning of this video, where you guys are able to mic up and cam up in a closed circuit session on a live YouTube stream and talk with me real shop about what you're going through as it relates to DLA solicitations, national stock numbers, things of that nature. So I recommend, if you're really trying to figure out DLA or DIBBS is right for you, give it a month or two. Go ahead and join my members only content through the CMCC program, which stands for Channel Members Command Center. And that's a way that you can invest in yourself as well. We have a closed circuit catalog of, I call it the CMCC video vault of pre-recorded content from last year into this year that will give you 2 hours sessions of real, like, life, real time DLA solicitations, and you get to hear from other folks who are new to DLA, and you can kind of learn from them as to what they're going through, and then to really decide if it's really something that's for you. And I think that the members only vault, or the members only channel or content, may be great for you too, if you're trying to decide if DLA and DIBBS is right for you as well. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat as well. Just click the chat button there. All right, so feel free to click that link and to bookmark it, because that's how you can join the CMCC. From my understanding, some folks, you can see the join button right at the bottom of the YouTube screen here. I think at the bottom of the video, but I think if you have a Samsung phone or an iPhone or something like that, the join button may not be very visible to you. And if it's not, take a look at the chat, and I'll also put this link in the description for the video, for the replay as well, for those of you that don't see the join button readily available. And if none of this works, feel free to go to the home page of my YouTube channel, and there should be a members only join button there. There's a lot that I've put together for the members only, not only from videos, but I also interact with you guys through my community forum, where it gives you more of a deeper dive into what it's like to be a DLA vendor. So hopefully that can answer the question, is DLA right for you? And I got a few more questions in the chat that I see populating here, and I'm definitely going to answer those questions. I just want to kind of get through the last couple of slides here, and then I'll go do a little deeper dive into your questions. And so for those of you who are kind of like, okay, great, I think I have what it takes. I've been on sam.gov. I'm kind of getting really, I guess, deterred from GovCon, because I've been on a few RFPs. We put plenty of time and energy, and we're not winning there. And, it just seems like this GovCon space is not for me. But you may be interested in getting involved with the DLA, because I think it is definitely an easier way to win contracts when you're in the GovCon space. Well, I have taken the liberty to create some masterclasses that I think will definitely benefit you along your journey in getting involved with the DLA, so that you can be successful in hitting the ground running. And so I have one masterclass that I have four different masterclasses available to you. The first one that I launched, my flagship, is the 8 steps to successful federal supply contract bid submissions to the DLA. It's a fantastic course, and I consider it my pre-award masterclass for those of you who are new to GovCon or new to the DLA and just kind of want to see what it's really all about. I highly recommend you take a look at that particular class. And then we also have our post-award DLA masterclass, which is the 4 steps to general post-award processes to successfully complete supply contracts with the DLA. Very long name, but basically I wanted to just kind of let you know that this masterclass is all about, hey, you got an award, what do you do now? And this is a great masterclass that helps you learn how to interpret the contract language, helps you to do the labeling, the packaging, the shipping, and then the invoicing. Because why go through all this if you can't invoice the DLA correctly to get paid within the allotted time? So cash flow is key in this space. So you got to make sure you're not making mistakes to basically inhibit the cash flow from happening within 30 days, right? Because if you make mistakes, sometimes it can take upwards of 90 days to fix that mistake, and that can be very detrimental to your business. And of course, I have a third masterclass, what I highly recommend, especially if you guys are looking to do business internationally and to get products manufactured internationally. And if you run across national stock numbers where you need to have access to export controlled documents, you'll need to have EJCP certification under your belt in order to know what to do and how to manage those types of drawings in order to do business with NATO countries, or should I say 28 of those qualifying country lists. For example, we do business with some manufacturers based out in Canada, so we do a lot of exchange of tech data in order to make sure that we are building products to support the warfighter, and everything is legal as it relates to that. All right, so I named that class 4 steps to fast track enhanced JCP certification, which stands for Joint joint certification program. And that's between the U.S. government and Canada, and well, at least as it relates to the countries that fall within JCP. We haven't done manufacturing as it relates to countries outside of Canada, as it relates to using JCP. But if you are finding countries or companies in those countries that can build those products, working hand in hand with the DLA and also the JCP team will allow you to understand the ins and outs of what the requirements are in order to share tech data with those countries in order to get those products manufactured. But again, that's a higher level training as it relates to working with me to assist you guys in that arena. And last but not least, if you are the type of student client that likes to learn by interactive learning or workshops where it's a real-time video feed where we're sitting down, you and I virtually, I've launched a 3-day virtual workshop training that allows you to meet with me 3 days consecutively, where we work for 4 hours via a Zoom phone call, where we're going to talk everything DLA. We're going to look at solicitations that you may be going after. And again, I consider this an advanced training. So this is a kind of a vendor workshop that I've designed for companies that are active with the DLA, who have won awards and things of that nature, because this deep dive, this 3-day training not only goes through the DLA solicitations, but it goes through your actual contract awards to help you, package, label, and interpret the data there, as well as assist you in day 3 with vendor development, things that we're talking about as far as NATO countries, or even working with mom and pop shops here in the United States, and how you can communicate with those vendors, how you can build a stronger relationship with those vendors, how you can apply for credit terms and things of that nature in order to grow your product supply distribution business in support of federal contracts. So these 4 master classes are available. I have the link on screen there. I'll also put it in the chat for you guys if you're interested in learning a little bit more about my master classes as it relates to supporting your businesses and helping to grow your businesses, so that you're just not kind of out there. And keep in mind, everything that I'm talking about here has a lot to do with that 100 new business vision that I have. So we got a lot of businesses that are getting involved and are getting the information. And that way, we're all kind of on the same page as we move forward, versus kind of me taking a step back. It's sort of like being in the classroom where you got the kid, unfortunately, that might need some tutors and things, and they just kind of they're not with the pack, and so we're looking to have folks that hit the ground running or are with the pack, so we can go after big opportunities and not make mistakes along the way, and we can all get our piece of the DLA pie. So I just put that in the chat as well, so feel free to click that link, bookmark it if you're kind of thinking a little bit about it. Once you register as well, you'll get access to some free videos that talk more about an outline of what the masterclass is all about before you actually decide to commit to the masterclass. So just your registration will kind of get you in the right area to knowing more about which masterclass may be suited for you. And of course, if you decide to reach out to me for the 15-minute pre-screening phone call, we can talk a little bit more about it, and I can kind of assess what masterclass I think will be best for you. But yeah, so all that's kind of been put together for you guys in support of your success with doing business with the world's largest customer, the DLA. As you guys know, the DLA does about $50 billion a year. That's 50 with a B for billion, in spend and buying products and services in support of the world's largest military, the U.S. Department of Defense. And so the DLA is the conduit between getting your piece of the pie. And hey, guess what? The DLA Guru, I put this stuff together to try to give you guys, to empower you and to inspire you for success with the DLA. So thanks again for watching today's presentation. I know I got a few messages in the chat that I'll cover in a second here, but if you're interested in learning more about what I've talked about today, and you're interested in doing a one-on-one contractor consultation, please feel free to reach out to me at the email address that you see on screen there, fed.contracting@nmsupply.com, because that is how you can link with me. I can kind of get to know who you are. And I'll go ahead and share my schedule with you guys, or how you can schedule a 30-minute contracted consultation with me, or a 1-hour contracted consultation with me to talk anything and everything related to the DLA and GovCon in general. So that's what that's all about. let's see what we got in the chat. What we got in the chat here. Let's see. Let me scroll down. So let me scroll up actually. See, we got Portugal. Yeah. All right. Hey, James, thanks again, man, if you're still in the building, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. Yes, I did mix up Portugal and Spain. Yeah. But thanks again. Hey, man, I'm only human. And hey, man, that's 28 countries. It's a lot to know about all of them. Let's see here. We got, let me show this on screen here. We got luxury card store. All right. Thank you for your question. And thank you. Looks like there is a super chat that came in there. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. We got a super chat, guys. Yay. We got to go ahead. Let's go ahead. Yes. We got a super chat that came in, and yay. So I'm pretty excited about that. So let's see. Let's make sure we answer this question to the fullest. Is there any way to search DIBBS for solicitations that do not require mil-spec packaging? That is a fantastic question, and I will tell you, every single contract that the DLA for products provides on DIBBS requires military packaging. And let me tell you the reason why. Because if you can kind of think of DLA as like Home Depot, all right? So DLA is basically have these huge distribution centers splattered throughout the United States and the world at large. And so the DLA, all they are is basically kind of a Home Depot of sorts, where they're receiving what's called a purchase rec, a PR, from the military. So you got a soldier that may be, who knows, anywhere. Let's say Afghanistan. They may be in Israel. They may be in Iran. They may be in Africa. They may be in America. They may be in Florida somewhere, where they're looking for a product that they need in order to do their job. All right. So they put in a PR, a purchase rec, to the DLA. The DLA receives that PR and turns it into a solicitation. And so the DLA is basically the conduit between the military end user and the industry. And so once the DLA puts the solicitation out, and we as vendors who are authorized to bid on those solicitations, we put in our best price, best availability, making sure we match the selling characteristics of the national stock number, and we provide the DLA with exactly what they're looking for, because the warfighter wants exactly what they're looking for. Then the DLA awards a contract, and we have to ship it to a designated DLA depot. So if you think about the DLA as a Home Depot, DLA depot, then they're going to receive that package. And that package they're just a storing facility for that package. That's why the military packaging, the mil-spec packaging and labeling is important, because you never know where that warfighter may be in the world. And so different contracts require different types of packaging. For example, the warfighter may be on a naval carrier. And I learned this when I worked for Boeing as an engineer, that there are certain military jets that are designed for aircraft carriers and certain there are not. And so, like, for example, the F-18 Super Hornet, that particular jet is designed for aircraft carriers. And so the caustic salt air, the seawater sprays on those birds, right? And so that's rust, and that caustic can destroy planes. And so the F-18 Super Hornet is designed to be able to withstand seawater, right? And so some of these products that we're shipping to the DLA may have an end use on a carrier. And so mil-spec packaging will be set up such that it has to make sure that the product that you're shipping to the DLA doesn't get exposed or get rusted out by seawater, for example. So that's why mil-spec packaging is going to be important for those types of contracts. And so you can never circumvent that process. By the way, luxury card store. So thanks again. Hopefully that answered your question. If it did, can you send me a message in the chat that tells me that answered the question? You can give me a thumbs up or something of that nature there. And you know what? I don't know if that's a super chat or not. I see an okay. So I have never, believe it or not, guys, received a super chat. So I see the S there, but I see a lot of S's on luxury card store. So that may not necessarily mean that that's a super chat there. I'm not exactly sure. Let me know, because I'm not getting anything on my end that says like super chat came in. Yeah, let's see here. Well, maybe I'm not looking at this correctly. No, that doesn't mean a super chat. That just means that you're part of my member. So you are a member. All right, not a super chat. I'm a channel member. Okay, that's what that is. All right. So Yeah, StreamYard has it looking a little different than what I see over here on YouTube, but neither here nor there. You're a channel member, so hey, your questions are very important. And thank you again for the question. And so let's see. All right. Yeah, I guess I messed that up. I got really excited thinking that was a super chat. So, hey, somebody send me a super chat, man. I don't want all that to just go to waste. All that excitement. Any super chat, send me a buck. That's enough. You know, that'd be kind of cool if you guys are liking some of the things I'm cooking today for you. That would be fantastic. Who's going to be the first to send me a super chat? That'd be awesome. All right. So, let's see here. While we're waiting, let's see. What? Okay, let me see if I can answer another question in here because we got another. Let's see. I have a meeting at 4:30, so I have another 15 minutes or so that I can stay here. But hey, I would really appreciate if you guys can show me that you're liking what I'm doing, because believe it or not, this is not very easy to put together these presentations, these productions for you guys. Not easy at all. Let's see here. Where we're at. Another question. Okay. We have a question is, what about solicitations that allow commercial packaging? All right. So I guess what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put the messages on the screen. I'm just going to read them. But if you have a super chat, then I'll put your super chat on the screen. That's how we're going to do this going forward, because that shows me a little bit of love when you're in there. You guys send me a super chat, and I can post your message on the screen there. So I'll just kind of read some of these and decide which ones I want to answer. So what about solicitations that allow commercial packaging? Yeah, so commercial packaging is yeah, I mean, mil-spec packaging is not necessarily like a bag that you put things in. They allow commercial packaging. Mil-spec packaging has everything to do with mil standard 129, where we're talking about the labeling, the marking. That's what the DLA cares about. Now, for those that are commercial packaged, chances are it's not going to be going on a naval carrier, right? So just don't get it misconstrued that mil-spec packaging and labeling is all kind of one encompassing thing. So you can have commercial packaging and still be required to put the labeling on there. So the labeling is going to be paramount as it relates to mil-spec packaging, labeling, and marking. All right. All right. Yeah, I see James. He responded there. So James, man, you're learning, man. You're learning the lingo. Mil standard 129. I see it in there. It's awesome. Focus on those. It's all commercial packaging. Okay. Okay, we got James. I have a manufacturer that's mainly deals in innocence or commercially packaged. Okay, so it makes it a lot easier to just print out labels and send it. Not sure. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. So hey man, James, you're becoming a bit of a subject matter expert in the chat there, man. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you know what I definitely suggest as you guys are like getting even more, because I know James is new to DLA contracting, and you know, being a part of the CMCC channel members family, being able to connect with the scheduled bi-monthly live streams is it's just a great way that you can meet other DLA vendors who are really serious about getting involved with the DLA and learn all you can. And you guys can definitely in those platforms exchange information, exchange your email addresses, I mean, phone numbers, you name it, cage codes, you know, just to basically link with each other and communicate, you know, I should say offline, because you begin to learn together and establish rapport. This is what this is really all about. You don't want to be an army of one. You want to be you want to learn how to team. And even doing that from the DLA DIBBS perspective, you can take those lessons and, you know, like the partnerships and the legal agreements, the NDAs, things like that that you'll need to develop your relationships, and apply it if you want to diversify your business into the SAM.gov arena. So all of this federal contracting, whether it's products or services, it's a lot of the same type of skill set that you'll need to be successful across the board. Now, I recommend the DLA because I think products are less headache. You don't have to really worry about dealing with people not showing up to work and things of that nature, and lawsuits and all this kind of stuff that can, you know, come down the pipe, you know, with people feeling like you're violating their rights and the ELC and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So you get involved, you know, where you feel most comfortable. But again, you know, if you're just new to GovCon, new to this contracting arena, and hey, and I don't really talk a lot about the past performance. You know, anytime you guys get a DLA award, you're able to ship, you know, and get paid. guess what? That becomes past performance for you. You can then utilize, you can have kind of a, a, a resume of success in working with the federal government's largest customer. So imagine having past performance showing that, hey, I provided products and services to DLA. And you may say, well, hey, how am I providing services? When you do mil-spec packaging and labeling, that's a service. The product is the product, but the service is the mil-spec packaging and labeling and shipping on time and things of that nature. That's all part of your company's history as it relates to federal contracting. And you can go out the low-hanging fruit to kind of build up that muscle of past performance, so that when you may decide to get involved with the 88 program and things of that nature, when you're going after contracts with the federal government and with through sam.gov, hey, now you have some past performance that you can also add to your repertoire when you're answering those RFPs. So I always recommend you guys consider the DLA. For those of you that are new to my content and you're going after sam.gov, and you may get you may miss contracts because they say your technical proposal wasn't sufficient or your past performance wasn't sufficient, because you just don't have many receipts to show that you are a low risk candidate as it relates to the federal government awarding service-based contracts to your company. All right, cool. So it doesn't look like anyone sent me a super chat. At least I can't see on this end here. But hey, maybe you guys are like, hey, I can't do a super chat to you today. I like all the great content you're giving. I'll give you my eyes, but no super chats. I'll give you a like. Hey, you know what? It all helps. But yeah, and I appreciate it. Trust me, I appreciate your audience. If you guys have any more questions, because I don't see any other questions kind of coming through the feed there. Got anything else for the DLA Guru today? Anything low-hanging fruit that I might be able to answer? Hey, and if you don't, want to operate with the super chat, of course, as you see on the scrolling marquee, feel free to drop me some love with Cash App, Venmo, or buy me a coffee. Because I believe it or not, I do get a lot of folks that are watching my videos on the replay, and I do get Cash Apps coming in. So I definitely thank all of those viewers that send me a little love outside of the live streams. This is what keeps me coming back, guys. As you can see, I'm just trying to get better and better and better with my content. And it's bilateral. I give you value, you guys give me value, and I'll continue to give you value. All right. So we got one last question that's coming here. And again, I think that's going to be my policy. I'm only going to post super chats on the live stream screens, and you guys will just have to read the questions in the comments. And I think that might be better way of doing that. So let's see, do you know of any large banks that aren't government contracting friendly and will fund a purchase order? Any large banks that are government contract friendly? I'm sorry, I thought it said are not. I don't know of any large banks that really care about you getting federal contract awards, because the bank, like if you're talking like a Bank of America doesn't care anything about government contracting. That's not what they consider collateral. Typically, if you're trying to get investment in order to service larger contract, it'll be through private equity. You wouldn't be able to use public funds for something like that. Banks are just they're not set up to do that. Those types of I guess lines of credit or things of that nature. Or you'll have to work directly with your vendor and be able to negotiate a line of credit with your vendor in support of those contracts. I'm not exactly sure at luxury car store what your actual name is, because you have an alias there. But maybe drop me a message offline at thefed.contracting@msupply.com, and we can probably figure out how we can talk one-on-one, talk a little bit more about ways to get financed. And when we have our scheduled live stream next Saturday, feel free to make sure you join us. I'm not sure if you are a brigadier general level or not with your membership to the CMCC, but you'll have to be upgraded to the brigadier general level in order for you to cam up and mic up with me, and we can kind of talk a little bit more shop about the opportunity that you have in hand, and I may be able to shed a little bit more light to assist you with your journey. All right, cool, guys. Well, I have a 4:30 scheduled, and that'll give me a little time to debrief myself and prepare for my my scheduled consult. So I am definitely looking forward to continuing my journey. Thanks again for your views and, for the love. And James, thanks, man, for all the messages in the chat there. And hey, I'm looking forward to continuing rocking and rolling with you and helping you with your DLA journey. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever and you're running into some issues and you're not getting the answers from your P tags and reaching out to your DLA small business offices and you're still just kind of coming up short, hey, you guys know where to find me, the DLA Guru. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the top. All right, so take care. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.